a service of CNC Worldwide.
CNC Podcasts are a service of CNC News, brought to you by the Greece Chamber of Commerce, providing more than 800 member companies with business solutions since 1984. Rochester police spent the night in and around a house near the corner of Rowley and Brighton Streets, and so far they haven't said why. The department's staff officer said Wednesday night they were investigating a suspicious condition, that there was no current public safety concern, and there would be more information on Thursday morning. The two-story house at 27 Rowley Street was cordoned off with police tape. Officers were inside and around the house all night, being watched closely by news crews who tweeted every event, which wasn't much so far. Rochester City school officials plan to announce establishment of 4 advisory committees Thursday. Each will bring students, parents, and community leaders together to look for solutions for the district's needs. School Board President Van Henry White says there will be committees on student achievement, parent engagement, student and community safety, and concentration of poverty. Each is to draw up recommendations and funding priorities for tackling those issues and present them to the school board in March. Those will then guide development of the next school budget in May. The town of Henrietta is looking into buying some or all of the former Monroe County Fairgrounds site and the Dome Center. The 49 acres at East Henrietta and Calkins Road sits next to the town hall and town parks. Henrietta Supervisor Jack Moore says it could become the site of the town court and recreation facilities. The town currently leases space for those at $200,000 a year. Moore says whether the town bids on the land depends on a number of things, starting with an appraisal that's already underway. He says the town would also like to see a study of the dome and other buildings to see what needs to be done to adapt them. Plus, Moore says the issue needs discussion by the town board and a lot of public input. The Monroe County Fair Association had a deal to sell the Dome Center and the land to the Rochester Razor Sharks, but it fell through at the end of the year. The land is now back on the market. Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren says she has moved on from the issue of her security detail and how fast her SUV was going last week on the Thruway. The mayor says she's now focusing on the city's business. Earlier on Wednesday, Wham 1180 talk host Bob Lonsberry reported that Mayor Warren's city-owned SUV was stopped twice on the Thruway last week during her trip to Albany and back instead of once. Her uncle, Reggie Hill, a former state trooper and the head of her security detail, was driving. Lonsberry said he learned from a source that Hill was going 92 and 97 miles an hour when he was pulled over. State police have not acknowledged a second stop. Mayor Warren confirmed one traffic stop on Monday. When she was asked directly on Wednesday, she neither confirmed nor denied the report, said she is moving on. The woman found guilty of killing her husband, dismembering his body, and burning his remains has been sentenced to 23 years to life in state prison. Rose Chase was sentenced in an Ontario County courtroom on Wednesday. She was convicted of second-degree murder and evidence tampering. She killed her husband by shoving him down a flight of stairs during a fight in their home in 2011. After the fall killed him, she dismembered his body, then burned the remains at her mother's property in Yates County, and then she reported her husband as missing. The 13-year-old Rochester girl who was shot during the drive-by incident Monday night has been released from Strong Memorial Hospital. Police say the Monroe Middle School 7th grader was not the shooter's intended target. He missed the group of young men he was aiming at on Hollister Street and instead hit the girl who was standing on the front porch of her home. Police have arrested Joshua Sutton of Rochester on assault and reckless endangerment charges. The Ontario County Sheriff's Office and the Humane Society have charged a man with cruelty to animals after a witness saw him intentionally hit a dog with his car. The Sheriff's Office says a person stopped to get a dog out of the road. When the man drove up behind him, stopped, then he pulled into the opposite lane, and then he took a run at the dog, struck the animal, and then drove off. The dog was grazed but not seriously injured. A witness saw the incident and followed the man while calling 911. A deputy stopped him a short time later. He's been ordered to answer to the charges in Richmond Town Court. Next news podcast is whenever you click on a CNC page and catch one. Updates are posted as necessary. And I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.